boys, today we are back, and in today's video I am going to be going over UFC Fight Night, Zalal versus Aljamain Sterling. I'm going to be going over the main event. I'm switching it up. I'm doing the main event, reaction today on Sunday instead of on Monday, just because this card was terrible. This card was awful. This card sucked fucking absolute nuts. This shit was terrible. But we did have a boring main event as well. I'm not going to lie. The main event did suck as well. Aljamain Sterling goes out there, dominates Youssef Zalal. I'm not going to say I called it because, if you really had a brain, you knew, Youssef Zalal had not fought anyone, you know what I'm saying? Youssef Zalal had not fought anybody good. He did not have any great wins. He beat Calvin Kattar and Josh Emmett to get into the rankings. So in my opinion, I did pick Aljamain Sterling to dominate. I made a video on that, how I thought he would dominate. But yeah, I picked Aljo, and he looked good. I'm not going to lie. Let's just, get right into it. Round one, he goes out there. It's mostly on the feet in round one. Then late in the round, he gets a takedown. And he was doing, he did way better on the feet in the later rounds. But in the first few rounds, I'm not going to lie, he didn't look the best. You know what I'm saying? I was watching the performance. I'm like, there's no way either of these guys beat anyone above them. Then Aljo was able to, you know what I'm saying, in the second round, picked up the pace a little bit, got a takedown at the end of the second round too. So the first two rounds were pretty much kind of stalemates, stalemates on the feet. Aljo was trying to get to him. Youssef Zalal was just moving around. It was pretty boring it was boring as shit. The first two rounds were boring as shit. At the second half of the first round and second round, Aljo would get his takedown and not do really much anything with it. Third round, Youssef Zalal, Aljamain Sterling comes out of the gate, tries to take Youssef down. Youssef, tries to latch up a choke, a guillotine. Aljamain Sterling survives it, goes to his back, and now Youssef Zalal's on top. I thought Aljo was I got scared for a second. I thought Youssef Zalal was going to finish Aljo, but it didn't happen. Aljo was able to get out of the choke. And then Youssef Zalal spent the rest of the time with top control in that round three. So 3 rounds in, I'm like, holy shit, this fight's terrible. This fight is nothing. This fight is just not UFC main event level. 4th and 5th round, Aljamain Sterling shows why he can potentially beat guys above him. 4th round came out, started blasting leg kicks, started hurting. I think Youssef Zalal got tired after the 3rd round. That was obvious. Yeah, 4th round, Aljamain Sterling comes out, great pressure. He had great pressure all night, but in the 4th and 5th round, he really just pumped up the pressure, started attacking Youssef Zalal, going straight for him. Youssef Zalal just backing up, doing nothing. I think he was tired of shit. And I called it, man. Youssef Zalal, this dude has fought no one. This dude has fought nobody. This was a nothing performance from Youssef Zalal. Other than that choke attempt in the 3rd round, this was just genuinely a nothing performance from him. It was just nothing, bro. Nothing he did, I think he maybe landed 2 good knees, 1 good right hand. He landed 3 good shots the entire fight. 35 significant strikes, 25 head strikes in 5 rounds. In the 4th and 5th round, Aljamain Sterling just dominated, got the takedown, so was landing shit on the feet. Almost didn't have Zalal almost out of there. I wouldn't say he didn't almost have him out of there, but he was landing great shots on the feet. Zalal looked like he was hurt maybe once or twice. And then Aljamain Sterling was just able to, Aljamain Sterling was able to get to Zalal's hips every single time. It was really just so easy. He just push him up against the fence, get to the hips, drag him down. That was the 4th round. And Aljamain Sterling in the 4th round did threaten a rear naked choke with the body lock. I thought he had it. I thought it was locked in. I thought Zalal was going to tap easily. But nope. Zalal makes it through. Aljo literally had the choke in and then started punching with the other hand instead of cinching the choke. That was weird, but he ended up cinching the choke in the 4th round. Didn't get it, which was surprising because usually Aljo has a great choke. We saw that with Corey Sandhagen back in the day, but credit to Zalal for fighting through it. Aljo maybe I don't know. That choke was weak as shit. I'm not going to lie. That shit was weak as fuck. Genuinely. But anyway, dominates in the 4th round, comes out, does the same thing, starts landing low kicks, tags Zalal a few times on the feet. Zalal cracks him in round 5, 1 good time. But other than that, Aljamain, like I said, any times that they would clash in together, Aljo would just get the clinch. He landed so many good knees. Aljo looked great with the knees. 4th and 5th round, he looked amazing. Knees, clinch work, dragging him down, getting the backpacking, controlling. It was a really dominant performance. Youssef Zalal, all he did was win the 3rd round, and that's just because he threatened to choke and was able to get on top. It's not because he fucking hurt Aljo. It looked like Aljo didn't even get in a fight. It looked like these guys didn't get in a fight. Honestly, this fight was terrible. It wasn't good, but Aljo showed dominance. The fight can be look at Hamzat versus DDP. Hamzat showed insane dominance, but the fight was boring as shit. It's kind of like this, but it wasn't as boring because Aljo was doing something on the feet. Striking in the 4th and 5th round looked decent for Aljo too, but it's you're going against Youssef Zalal, and then you look decent in the striking against Brian Ortega, but Brian Ortega was a corpse of himself at 145, so it's how much can I really take into effect Youssef Zalal and Aljo or excuse me, Youssef Zalal and Brian Ortega, like Aljo winning against them on the feet. It's like, I don't know if I can take too much stock into it, but yeah, Aljo looked decent on the feet in the 4th and 5th round. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round, he didn't look the best. But 4th and 5th round, he looked amazing. And he won 49-45 on all 3 scorecards. I predicted a 50-44, so I was close. I was somewhat close. I knew Aljo would dominate this fight, man. I knew he would dominate this fight. No editing. I knew he would dominate this fight. Just the level of opponent, bro. Like, if you're almost beating Movsar Evloev like almost 2 years ago, it was like a year and a half ago, it's like he's 20-0. And I just knew he had the better resume, the better opponents. He was a world champion. I mean, even though he didn't, his run was a little weird, he was a world champion. So great performance from Aljo. What do I want to see Aljo do next? He called out Movsar and Volk. I think they're going to do Movsar versus Volk, so I think he's not in the title picture. I think he might need to get one more. Like, the UFC hates Aljo, let's be real. They don't want Aljo to get the belt. He's on the back end of his career, too. He is 3-1 now at featherweight, so he's building a great resume at featherweight, but like Calvin Kattar, who else did he beat? Brian Ortega and Youssef Zalal, those aren't the best wins, but hey, he's moving up and he's winning. So who do I want to see him fight next? Let's take a look at the rankings. He's not going to move up any spot in the ranking because he fought below him, but as we can see here, Alexander Volkanovski is the champion. I do think they're going to make Volk versus Evloev. I think that's going to happen. I could see them maybe giving it to Gene Silva based on like just hype and excitement, but I really think they're going to do right, give Movsar the shot. So yeah, I think it's going to be Movsar versus Volk. I don't think Aljo's going to get his wish and get the title shot or Movsar in a rematch. So this is what I think they should do. Alex Volkanovski versus Movsar. Diego Lopez is fighting Steve Garcia. I think you do Yair versus Kevin Vallejos or Yair versus Lerone versus Kevin Vallejos, something like that. And then you do Gene Silva versus Aljamain Sterling for the number 1 contender fight. Whoever wins that is next for the winner of Volk versus Movsar. It has to be. That it makes complete sense. It's crystal fucking clear in the featherweight division. Will the UFC fuck it up? Probably. They probably won't do the right thing. They'll probably fuck up this division. But we can only hope that the UFC does the right thing. And in my opinion, bro, that's the fight. That's the fight. Aljamain Sterling versus Gene Silva. That would be an insane fight. I'm not gonna lie. I would really look forward to that. I think, like I said, they're gonna make Movsar versus Volk. That's my opinion. If Volk loses, I think he retires. If he wins, I think he retires too. I think Volk has one more in him. I don't think Aljo's going to be able to fight Volk. I don't think it's going to happen. He's not getting the next shot, and I think Volk retires next fight, no matter if he wins or loses. He just wants that 20-0 Dagestani record. He wanted to take Lerone Murphy's O as well. I think he just wants to beat an undefeated guy to cap off his career. So I think he's got one more. If he beats Movsar and then vacates, the winner of Aljamain versus Gene Silva fights Movsar for the vacant belt. If Movsar wins, even better. He'll be the undisputed champion. He'll be undefeated. And then a fight with Gene Silva versus Movsar. That would be insane. A fight between Aljo and Movsar rematch. It wouldn't be an insane fight, but it would be intriguing, grappling. And we could see if Aljo, gets his get back against Movsar. So that's what I think should happen in the UFC featherweight division. You do Aljo versus Gene Silva. That's the clear fight to make. Aljo didn't say anything about Gene Silva in his post-fight interview, which is a little surprising. Obviously, Aljo is above Gene Silva in the rankings. I don't see the UFC making Gene Silva versus Volk. He's literally on a one-fight win streak after just getting slammed out by Diego Lopez. And we saw how Volk versus Diego Lopez went. It was fucking 2 awful fights. And Diego didn't do shit, and Volk just fucking leg kicked out at range on the outside. Like, Volk is so fucking boring. Once Volk leaves this division, I'm sorry, this division's going to blow the fuck up. Do I think Aljo can beat Gene Silva? That would be an insane fight. I think Gene Silva's too good in the grappling. I think Gene Silva maybe even submits. I think he would brutalize fucking Aljo on the feet, honestly. And I think he probably would submit Aljo on the ground too. I'm not going to lie. I think Gene Silva would win that fight versus Aljo. If they give Aljo the shot against Volk and just like a legacy like Stipe versus John Jones fight, I low-key think Aljamain Sterling has a better chance of beating Volk than he does of beating Gene Silva. That's just how it is. Volk is just ass. I'm sorry. I fucking hate Volk. But yeah, Aljamain Sterling versus Gene Silva. Book that fight next. Great performance from Aljo. Youssef Zalal, what do you do with Zalal here? I don't even know. Give him like Steve Garcia if he loses. That timeline sort of matches up. Actually, let's just look through the rankings. Zalal is 7th. Ooh. Vallejos versus Zalal. Zalal didn't take any damage. Melky Costa, Arnold Allen, winner versus Zalal. I don't know. Arnold should get a jump up. I don't know. I don't know what you do as well. Maybe like Aaron Pico versus Zalal. That would be fun. I could definitely see that happening. I could definitely see them doing Aaron Pico versus Youssef Zalal. So make Aljo versus Gene Silva. Make Youssef Zalal versus Aaron Pico. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Dominant performance from Aljo. I called it. Peace.